Omni Man, an immensely strong character from the hit series from Robert Kirkmans. An obvious Superman clone that disappeared in the last 20 years on a run of evil Superman clones like Homelander, Justice Superman, and anti-hero like Sentry. Today we'll be discussing how strong is Nolan Grayson, his speed, his most normal strength, speed metas. The main reason why I'm doing Nolan, because he's my profile picture. Season 4 is 3 months away at the time of writing the script, so I also wanted to get a head start on the hype. Omni Man belongs to the race called Viltrumites. They're immensely strong, fast, durable, capable of some level of regeneration. He's about 2,000 years old, lots of combat experience, and viewed as a high level combatant among his own species and even conquest. Has some level of respect for Nolan, even early on, in stating that he showed some promise when he was younger, as he's about to do some unforgivable things to Mark. Nolan's later betrayal, after he beats the daylights off of Mark, the Viltrumites respect him enough to send three Viltrumites to Thraxa to capture Nolan, and Nolan carries Mark through the fight, defeating all three. Nolan's first notable feat is in the Flaxen dimension right after Mark is getting beat up again, obviously, where he runs through the entire planet. He grows a beard, so it's in some unspecified time period. But in the clip we're shown, it's like happens. It's pretty clear that it happens like in that moment. Like it doesn't take that long. But he like completely destroys the part of the planet. Some calcs get his attack potency around anywhere as low as small country level, all the way to multi-continental, with multi-continental being really consistent, and even a sub-relativistic to relativistic feat at 1% the speed of light, destroying the Flaxen homeworld. Later, while Mark and Nolan are in space, Nolan talks about diverging in a meteor the size of Texas. Now, we never see a flashback of this, and it's just kind of a speculation feat. We just kind of have to go off of Nolan's testimony. But calcs get anywhere from multi-continental to moon level in terms of attack potency, which is consistent with his previous feat of destroying the Flaxen homeworld. Nolan, on his way to Thraxa, goes to a black hole to not continue living. I couldn't really find anything on this feat except the super high end. It's like a moon level feat, which is consistent with feats shown before. And it's not really an outlier, as he's just resisting his pull. He kind of does it super casually. And he's not super close either, so that's about what's reasonable at this point. Obviously, his greatest feat he performed, spoiler warning. Obviously, his greatest feat he performed, spoiler warning, was destroying Viltrum. He needs help to do this, and if they didn't do it right, they would straight up just die. He's at his peak during the destruction of the planet. Space Racer did have to weaken the core of the planet, but calcs at a reasonable end get to about 67 zetatons planetary, or 22 zetatons for each person, or small planetary, which is consistent with him upscaling his previous feats, but not to a ridiculous degree. But we're gonna get a little quirky here with less consistent metas, namely the Sun Disk, which has caused massive controversy concerning the strength of Ultramites. Spoilers ahead. Basically, there's this species called the Ragnar that, on average, are actually stronger than the Viltrumites due to the gravity of the planet, whatever, whatever. And basically, to prevent these guys from causing problems, the Viltrumite Empire places a massive sun disk to freeze the Ragnar at its L1 point and half the diameter of the star, and a bunch of sciencey stuff. I don't really No, but it's like tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of kilometers diameter, depending on who's calculating the feet. What becomes controversial is that the coalition of planets ship destroys this disk. And basically, before this, Thaddeus, a Viltrumite himself, says that none of their weapons are strong enough to hurt Viltrumites. Now you see why it's controversial. Thaddeus is a trustworthy source as he's a Viltrumite and he's a coalition leader. And it's not out of the question to, he would know the strength of the coalition's weapons and the strength of Viltrumites themselves, as he literally is one. But it's kind of an outlier, and this battle did a video and calculated the strength to be over 8,000 quintatons of TNT or large star level. And other calcs, are large planet level, about 26 yotatons, which it's, and even other calcs get brown dwarf star all the way to star level. To be honest, the only one I would even entertain would be the large planet level calc. Even that would be over 1,000 times stronger than the small planetary feat, and it's just a very large outlier. And he doesn't directly do the feat. It's just kind of like a, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But that would, unless you take one of the invincible variants beating up Spawn or a number of other characters, but they're largely either featless, it marks reality, or Mark simply doesn't scale. Universa omnibus. Like it's just really weird. Like, let's just not get into it. To get into his speed for Omni Man, he's a bit of a speedster as you travel to Thraxa, which is in a different galaxy, in about a month, and got to massively faster than light. Plus, multiple calcs showing that he's tens of millions of times faster than light. People have argued that it's a space bubble or that's his travel speed. But I don't think I have to tell you that you have to be able to react to where you're going, where you definitely could have not known what direction or maybe hit something. Pretty much all you need to know. Omni Man is above light speed, to put it lightly. In conclusion, Omni Man at his highest ends could be star level, and he just blatantly his travel speed is a million times the speed of light. So he could be going even faster. But I don't really want to get into that. But most consistently, he's small planetary and comet reaction speeds far beyond the speed of light. If you want to say on in a vacuum, maybe he's not as fast, sure, but he should still be around light speed in a vacuum. Just I mean, you saw what he did to the Flex in Homeworld when he was traveling like 1% the speed of light. So I doubt he would want to do that on Earth, even if when he was trying to conquer Earth, you know. Basically, you get what I'm saying. Basically, he should be at this speed. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Test, test. I'm sick. All right. All right. Let's get it started. Guess he's finally getting his power. Are you sure? Pretty sure. We will test that in space. I will. Oh, that's great. Sounds just great. If you're up for it, I'll make some time tomorrow for training. Right and early tomorrow, Matt. Make sure you get a good night's sleep.